工作。好，下面我要介绍的这一位就是我们这个龙舟的新星，他呢是去年的7月份呢才开始划船的，他是一无所知的一个小白，什么都不会，真的是什么都不会。但是呢，在短短的这个半年的时间，他现在一跃成为已经到了就是我们加拿大的最顶级的队伍，就是国家队一样。所以说呢，我们有请这一位我们的最年轻的龙舟之星 Cody 来跟我们分享一下他的。
它是开了那个，
你不要把灯光给关掉。
它开了没有？那个遥控器开了没有？
哪个遥控器？
不是，它只有一个那个。
哎，你这个灯光把它那个关掉。
All right, so let's get this started. I think I'm probably the only presentation in English today, so hopefully everybody understands me. But I'm Cody, and I'll be presenting on Dragon Boat today. I'll be discussing some of the history of the Dragon Boat, what a Dragon Boat team consists of, what goes into Dragon Boat team training, and some of my own personal experiences Dragon boating this past half year or so. Okay, so let's talk about some of the origins of dragon boating. Dragon boating started in ancient China over 2,000 years ago, and throughout this time it's developed into both a recreational and a competitive water-based sport, water-based team sport. And not only is it a team sport, but it has great cultural and social significance, as it's often a key component of festivals worldwide. And furthermore, Dragon Boat has become very popular amongst athletes due to its inclusion of people of all ages and all skill levels, making it one of the fastest growing team sports available out there currently. So, what makes up a dragon boat? So nowadays dragon boats can range from anywhere from 10 to 50 people per boat, but on a standard boat you're going to have about 20 paddlers, 1 drummer, and 1 steer. The role of each paddler then is to work together in unison to propel the boat forward as fast as possible. It's a very simplified way to put it, but it'll do for now. The role of the drummer is then to maintain the rhythm of the boat through their drumming, as well as to make calls for the boat. And then the steer's role is to guide the directional movement of the boat, as well as to help the drummer make any potential calls for the boat. Ultimately, each team member is uniquely equipped and required for the success of the boat, and they must come together to achieve a single purpose, which is to accomplish the perfect dragon boat stroke. So, what happens in a dragon boat stroke? It's all about teamwork. Before we even get into the water, each team member must position themselves above the water in unison such that they can catch and enter the water at the same time, so that they can pull, apply pressure through the water to move the boat forward as far as possible before they then exit the boat in unison so as to not drag and slow down the boat. You can see why then that dragon boat is often called the ultimate team sport, because ultimately it doesn't matter if your team is the strongest or the fittest. If they can't manage to work together as a team, they'll never be able to reach their full potential. And you can often see that in races where you have younger, fitter teams being overtaken by teams with, let's say, more team unity and more team cohesion. Okay, so we talked a little bit about what a dragon boat is, what goes into dragon boating, but then now let's talk about what it means to train for the dragon boat. For starters, dragon boat teams will usually have practice 2 or 3 times a week. I know that CrossFit will be trying to host practice 3 times a week this year actually. So as a baseline, the expectation that if you want to become a dragon boater is to dedicate at least 3 times a week to dragon boating. But outside of team practice, there's a myriad of ways that you can improve your own physical ability and paddling ability, key of which is strength training. Whether it be going to the gym to improve your upper body strength or your core strength, once you start paddling, you'll figure out that dragon boating really is a full body exercise and you need to get stronger and fitter throughout to become a better paddler. Also very important is flexibility. Now myself personally, I've never really been a very flexible person and I really hated stretching for the most part, but once I started paddling, I realized the importance of flexibility, not only in becoming a better paddler, but also to prevent injuries, as many of you probably already know. Now, beyond dragon boating and going to the gym, there are certain water-based activities that you can take on personally to improve and learn and practice the techniques you learn on the dragon boat by yourself. My favorite of which is the OC1. So up until this point, we've been talking about dragon boat training where you have 20 people paddling together, moving the boat together, and you have someone to steer for you. But on OC1, which is a canoe for a single person, you're the only person on the boat, so you're the person responsible for moving the boat, for steering the boat. If the boat is slow, then there's no one to blame but yourself. So for those reasons, I believe that it is the perfect cross-training vessel for dragon boaters. Now, why do we do all of that training? What is the point? Beyond the obvious health benefits, the strength gains, the fitness gains for people of all ages, we go out in the miserable Vancouver weather, in the rain, in the wind, year-round to train, to have the opportunity to compete against the 100 plus other teams that come out every year to compete against us on Falls Creek and other locations around Canada and the world. Now, racing has many different formats. It ranges from the short sprint distances, such as 100 and 200 meters, up to all the way to the 2,000 meters and above, which are more distance, endurance-based events. And personally, I've found that 2000 is probably my favorite event, as it has the most action, the most chaos, there's turns involved, there's the most teams, there's the possibility for collision, and I think it truly reveals a team with the best teamwork. Okay, now what better way to show off what a dragon boat race is than to show some actual live footage of one of CrossFit's 200 meters races from last year.
跟他说话就直接就出去。
Father!
that exciting, if that doesn't get your heart pumping, I don't know what will. So, if that's something that potentially interests you, or that's something that you want to experience, now is the best time to come out. I know that Crosstown will be trying to go to as many races as possible this upcoming season. So if you're someone with a good athletic base, which I'm sure most of you have, and you have the willingness to learn and to improve yourself, come out and give it a try. Thank you, and I hope to see most of you out on the water this upcoming year.
谢谢，是不是讲的特别好？年轻，特别励志这个故事，短短的半年，真的想不到，他这个现在已经步入了这个世界级别的一个，确实是这个不是说的，他现在坐拥的这个 team 是这个 Fossa Creek 的这个 Premier 的。 他这个确实是代表加拿大出去比赛，参加世界级的比赛，所以这么年轻，他现在你看他自己讲的，短短的时间他已经讲得很专业了一样，他确实是也有这个研究，所以呢，现在这个看这个东西的话就群情激愤的。